Because if
can't
you want to
see it
sell and
getting
you want to get the most amount of money, you got to be the next one to sell. I know it sucks. It doesn't feel good. I get it. But I'm telling you, inventory is piling and the buyers are less and less.
This episode of the Under the Table podcast is brought to you by Shrubs.me, your all-in-one digital hub. Share files, links, videos, and more from one beautiful customizable page. Picture a cross between Dropbox, Linktree, and Patreon. Get your free account with 2.5 gigabytes of cloud storage today at Shrubs.me. Pre-con inventory is closing in on 5 years worth of inventory sitting there, but it's bullshit, right? Because months of inventory is a bullshit stat because
in the resale market, it's not
as bullshit, right? But when you have swings like this, it becomes a stat you can't rely on, right? When inventory goes fucking through the roof.
2009 in the US, or whenever the bottom was, 2009, 2010, whenever the final bottom was, there were areas that had 11 years of inventory.
Sure. And I'm not saying that this is a good thing, but it's not as bad as this chart that everybody's passing around is making it seem, right? Yeah. Because if all of a sudden something ramps up in a couple of months, right? All of a sudden there's 1,000. That number jumps so high. It's like nobody will be going, "Oh my God."
It's
4,
just a
000.
metric. It's not like it will take 5 years to sell the inventory because more will come on, sales will speed up. But it's just for us to understand the tone of the market. Yeah. Are we in a market that is favoring buyers, or are we in a market that's favoring sellers? Right now, when we look in the States, and I know I keep talking about the States and no one really cares, but it's important to understand because it spills over and that there's a lot of stuff there. You've got in Miami and West Palm, okay? You've got 3 times as many. You got 3 times as many sellers as you do buyers, right? So that's the strongest buyers market out there. So picture that. You know, each month you got 1,000 sales, right? But then you've got 3,000 sellers who are all looking to sell their property. So you got 3 months. That doesn't make any sense. It must be more than that. The sales must not be there. This is when they say buyers, the buyers they're calculating are actively out there. It's not actually sales. It's just like buyers. Those buyers are out searching right now. Months of inventory is based on actual sales. So I don't know what the months of inventory is down there, but the bottom line is the market in Miami is the worst market in the States right now. Right. And I heard in Florida's tough right now. People don't even want listings. They're basically turning away listings. They're saying, hey, we already have a bunch of those houses for sale right now, and we don't even want your listing. It's not going to sell.
Yeah. People here must be turning away listings.
But this is what the reality is that if everybody's listening here, especially my seller clients, okay? Especially my seller.
Lower your price.
This is a realistic scenario in Toronto. Please don't underestimate the volatility that these real estate markets can have. Because if you want to sell and you want to get the most amount of money, you got to be the next one to sell. I know it sucks. It doesn't feel good. I get it. But I'm telling you, inventory is piling and the buyers are less and less. I got places with no showings that are priced way better than everybody else.
This is the perfect time for the government to implement something that adds more inventory on the market, like sixplexes. No, this is the best time for that, right?
The sixplex pilot project in North Scarborough. I don't know.
They just approved.
I know. But I don't know any sixplexes that actually got built.
None.
Okay.
This went so well that we're gonna put it everywhere.
But they did do a pilot project, which you assume that it would be like, let's get a proof of concept here. But now the council said, let's just do it everywhere.
Yeah. We're gonna look like superstars to nobody at all.
Yeah,
because not only that,
because none of the neighbors complained because nobody built anything.
Right, everyone's
and so the councillor who brought that forward in North Scarborough, he was the one who championed that, and so everyone was like, okay, well, yeah, like just do it in your ward, and then let us know how it goes. And then at the end, 6 months, maybe a year later now, not even a year, 6 months later, he's just like, nobody complained. It was like nobody cared. Everybody was just all behind it 100%. But no one said, well, Jim, how many sixplexes did you guys build? How many applications actually happened?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the markets and the rates, and we didn't actually build any yet, but nobody complained. Even though when we announced it, we only put it online in a portal that nobody checks.